Okay.
This video interview is part of the EDU 581 English Learner Assessment and Culture class, which is one of the classes of the ESL endorsement of Georgetown College. I'm working on a project with a focus student in mind. Her name for the project is Maria, which is not her real name. In the project, I provide assessment recommendations based on data and observations about her. Our school is for students who have recently arrived to the United States, and we need to constantly assess their progress. Can you, Mr. G, please tell me how you usually gather student data?
Certainly. When the students first arrive at our school, they got a period where they acclimatize a little bit with our routines and procedures. And during that time, we administer what we call a WIDA screener. It's based on the WIDA model, so we can assess their level of English. And the purpose of it is not just for testing sake or placement test per se, but it gives us a snapshot for the teachers where they are at that time of enrollment and where we can move them forward. So we do usually get kids at the different levels of English, even though they might be, first year in the United States. But there's a variety. Some of them have more of a higher speaking proficiency than writing, and vice versa. And so that will give us a lot more in-depth analysis into the gaps that the students might have and the advantages they might have.
And what else you can use a pre-screener for? What else you can get from that?
They might be at an entry level, but there's a variety of there's a big spectrum of that. So there are kids who may not be able to decode anything in reading, for example, but they could be a little bit more higher functioning in speaking. And so that really helps a lot because we want to tap into whatever students have at that time and move them forward. So we really, for me, I look at it as more of it's not like let's find the deficiencies, but let's find what they are equipped with at that time to move them forward. And obviously, each teacher within their content area, as they're doing the assessment, they're also looking at the assessment from the linguistic point of view. And so they're devising their assessment accordingly.
Thank you. I also, use the can do the scripters too with my students, because some of them, they don't have any proficiency in English, but they have their own strength. And when we are basing everything on that, it's really amazing, because you are not able to speak English right now, but you are able to do a lot of things that even I don't know. You can be my teacher right now. And they can really engage with that, and I love it. And that's precisely one of the powerful tools that WIDA is offering. Mr. G, students at our school are also asked to reflect on their language development using a reflection tool. The reflection goes over the 4 domains of language: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. In our course and in the district, we talk a lot about equity. What are some of the ways we can make assessments more equitable?
Oh, yeah. But it's kind of linked into what we spoke about earlier. Because students can be more proficient in one domain than others, so it behooves all of us teachers to make sure that we're not doing the same kind of assessment every time for all students. Differentiating the assignments can be a great tool to ensure equity. As an example, if somebody struggles to read, for example, it might be a good idea to give them the assignment orally. It might be a good idea also to ensure equity that we're not just doing multiple choice questions, that performance assessments can be part and should be part of the the repertoire the teachers have to ensure equity. Again, like when we think about translation tools, teachers have to keep in mind that yes, there might be students who speak Spanish and they have access to that tool. What are we doing to mitigate that for a student that speak an obscure language that's not really popular, or is not really does not have a translation tool available online? And so you have to consider all of those to ensure equity between all students. So varying the assignments, varying the type of assignments, and differentiating the assignments that should be a given. And if there is anybody that knows equity and knows how to do that, is the ESL teachers.
That's it. That's our goal. And then supposing we have to teach again online because of the COVID, and now it's Delta variant or whatever.
Yeah.
How can we do those assessments like more motivating, more engaging for them? Because we are really needing that on them. We cannot lose the motivation in our students. I know you are an expert, Mr. G, doing that, and I would really like, can you share some ways we can do, like classes online more engaging? Because
say that lucid or kind of flexible in getting and like being able to pivot at all times to make sure that we're dragging the kids to the mastery. So yeah, the variety of the assessments and the length of the assessments, that kind of assessments has to be considered.
Thank you very much for being with me today.
My pleasure. You're welcome.